the RDA5807 FM radio kit. I'm going to build it. The parts are all laid out in this little tray. I've accounted for all the parts. They do give you instructions, and they have a list of parts. So I don't know how well the camera is getting all this, but I'm going to start with a surface mount part. There are 3 surface mount parts. So that's probably the hardest part of this kit. And I'm going to start with the IC. It's a 16-pin IC. I'm going to tack down one corner, or one pin. I'm going to get that as perfectly as I can lined up. Now, one thing I have to say about this PCB is that it is ideal. The pads are very high quality and the layout is very high quality. So you don't have to worry about getting bridges. And if you did, it wouldn't be a big deal, but the pads are separated well enough so that you don't have to worry about getting bridges. And they're pre-tinned. I don't know what the material is, if it's silver. It could be silver, I think. It's very high quality. Just a very high quality PCB board and kit. So the finished product you're going to get with this kit is really nice. It's a nice little radio. You don't hear it as well with this video, but the quality is quite good on the speaker and the tuning. And you do have a little, a small variable resistor or potentiometer. It's blue. It's that blue part. I'll show you later. The variable potentiometer adjusts the fine tuning. So once you get that set in place, all the stations come in nice and clear. And the tuning is very automatic. The tuning is automatic and it comes in very clearly. It stops exactly where the strongest signal is. So you can see it's run by a microprocessor. That's not this part here. This part is an IC. I don't know what this part does exactly. I think it works with the tuner. The tuner is a separate chip, or it's a chip and a oscillator, a crystal oscillator that tunes in the FM stations. So the next part is the voltage regulator. So this is fairly simple, but what you want to watch for is that you grab it well with the tweezers. I'm not really using the best quality tweezers, and I'm not holding them right here. So I have trouble getting this on straight, but once I finally get it on straight, I'm good to go. See how the left side is pointing down a little bit? I'm not crazy about that. I want to get it nice and flat and level and even. So I'll try it again, and I'm going to even try it one more time after this. Yeah, this always happens. You go to move it a little and it moves too much. And then you see me tapping on the top of it with the tweezers. That's to make sure it's flat. So I still don't like it. I think I'm going to get it right this time. Close enough. Good enough for government work, as they say. So with these surface mount parts, you really want to try not to touch the component, the pin on the component, just touch the pad. But you can see I'm not really doing that. So I should practice what I preach. But the parts work. It all works well. So here is the tuner. If I can get the bag open. So you can see the tuner has a very tiny IC on it that I don't think I would have been able to do the surface mount soldering with a soldering iron. And it also has the oscillator on it, the crystal. And you want to get that lined up. It has like little notches in the side with the contacts instead of pins. So again, the strategy is to tack down one side. I didn't quite get enough solder on there. Sorry about the out of focus. Still not connecting. No. So I'm just going to try and lay some more solder in there. And you can see that works. Now I want to get that lined up perfectly. So you can see how big those pads are. It's really quality, really very good quality for this type of kit. So what I'm going to do is skip ahead to the resistors, and then I'll show you how I did the other side. It's no big deal. You just want to get plenty of solder in on these so it fills in that little notch. Now I'm going to go 8x time lapse on these resistors just so you don't get bored to death. But the resistors are all pretty easy. There's 8 resistors that are 510 ohms, and they're clearly marked in one package. Then there's 1K ohm resistors. I believe there are 5 that you need, and then there are 5 10K resistors. So here I'm doing the other side of this tuner IC. This is really a breakout board, I guess you would call it. The tuner. It's really to get that IC on there. The crystal I don't think would be too much trouble to solder, but the tiny IC would be a real hassle to solder. I definitely think you could do it with flux, but it was probably done with a heating pad or a hot air gun or something like that. So this is the USB power connector. I like to do the connections first and then the mechanical mount last. And I got it nice and flat. Now I'm using, I believe, 0.3 millimeter. It might be more. It might be 0.8 or 0.7. 0.3 millimeter solder. So it takes a lot of solder to fill these openings or holes or joints. This is the LED for power. You want to make sure you get the polarity right. Now comes the battery pack. You twist the wires. What you want to do here is whenever you connect wires to a PCB, you want to tin the pads and tin the wires. That makes it a whole lot easier. Oh, earthquake. No, only kidding. I bumped into the lamp. What I have is a lamp with a magnifying glass, a big magnifying glass on it. I like to use that. So I'm actually on the right side there looking through the magnifying glass at the work. So I have maybe one turn too many on this wire, but it'll work out. I'm gonna 8x the time-lapse the speaker. So again, you want to tin the pads and tin the leads on the wire. Now they give you 2 pieces of double-sided tape cut to fit. So I put the double-sided tape on the speaker the way they show in the video they give you. The video shows the tape being exactly put just over the leads, over the LED, over the solder on the leads. So here's the power test. So as you can see, the radio works, or as you can hear. Sorry about the focus here. It's taken me a little bit to get used to the tuning. If you hold the button down for a second or two, it goes a lot. And if you hold it down for just an instant, it only goes 1 notch, 1/10. So here's the station. There's a station. Now that antenna is on pretty iffy. I use there's 2 ways you can put the antenna on. So here's the finished product with the case. And it does have a pretty good sound once you tune it with that blue potentiometer at the bottom where my thumb is. Use a little Phillips head screwdriver and turn that a couple turns, and you'll get your tuning in nice, so you get rid of that tinny sound. So you have volume buttons and tuning buttons. You also have an earphone socket. There's the antenna. Now the antenna is pretty tricky because it's very, very stiff at the hinge. I tried to work it with some pliers, but I gave up on it and I'll leave it like that. So that's all. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, rumble, and stay tuned.